Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on RTV International and from a very special place here in Cairo, from Al Azhar University, specifically Al Azhar Mosque, we bring to you today's episode of Nile Cruise. Dear viewers, a very special month, holy month of Ramadan. We bring you, dear viewers, of course, a very special, different information that you would love to know from a very special place like Al Azhar. Dear viewers, we all await Ramadan year after year. We all await this very special month with all its very special rituals and all special prayers and everything and the family bonding. We all await this very special month. During Ramadan, one should reflect, pray, and deliver oneself from every single sin. Dear viewers, while the emphasis of Ramadan is on fasting during daylight hours, it is also about strengthening one's relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through worshipping His greatness and praying to Him all night. Ramadan in its entirety Ramadan specifically or entirety is an especially prominent time in Islam, although there is one evening that is especially meaningful, and that evening is Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr is otherwise known as the Night of Power and is considered to be Islamic calendar's holiest eve. During this night, dear viewers, a lot happened that we have a very special guest. This night falls within Ramadan's final 10 days, and although the exact date is unidentified during the 10 days, it is commonly thought of as the holy month's 27th day specifically. Dear viewers, and in this context, and to learn more about the virtues of Laylatul Qadr, we're honored to host Dr. Osama Yousef, a researcher at Al Azhar University. A very good day, sir. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so happy to be with you today in a great Masjid Al Jami' Al Azhar. So, as you said, like it's very important to know at the last 10 days of Ramadan, we are always searching for Layla is very, very important Layla, or very, very important night, which is a night of decree or a night of power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about this night, and as you know, before we talk about night in details, I want to say like in Islam we have months over months preference. Like we have a preference. We always have a season of obedient Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a season what we call the ulama talk about al-ibadah. So we have months, as this month, the month of Ramadan is better than other months. And when you are doing any act of worship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala double reward to you. And also we have nights better than nights. And one of the great nights in night of decree or night of power, Allah talk about it in the Quran, said, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alf shahr. Night of decree is better than 1,000 months. 1,000 months in everything. So as we talk about Ramadan all the time, is a season for us to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to start doing good and to be like worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a better way. We always talk about you must, as a Muslim, search in the last 10 days of Ramadan, search for Laylatul Qadr. Why? To take the reward in this great month, to take the reward also in these great days. And also there is something very, very unique in this night, which is like in this night, the angels came to the earth to have like peace and to have like to mention and put the names and mention the names of the people that they are worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And many times like the people in the last 10 days of Ramadan, they go to Hajjud and they go to the masajid, and they also making lots of good worship, lots of act of worship, like they are also like pay for charity, or even give like the fuqara or the masakin, the people who are in a need, they give them food and all of this. This is very important to teach you something also very important, solidarity in a Muslim ummah. That's why even we talk all the time about the Muslim ummah or the community, a Muslim community, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of the day does not want us to be selfish. He does not want you to be just think about yourself. Unfortunately, many Western societies, sometimes when you talk about them, they said, oh, I don't care about anyone. I just care about myself. But in Islam tell you, no, you should care about other people too. Because other people, that's why even the ulama was talking about what? Was talking about, is it charity is better than salah or the salah is better? and they always talk about the mutaaddi, the thing that is like the reward going to other people is better. Why? Because you make someone happy. You make like them, for example, like, you know, let's say, for example, you have neighbors and they need like food or need like money, and you give them. You bring them happiness. You bring them nice things. So it's all the time like this. The ulama is talking about when you do something and charity that is the reward of this charity for other people, or you make someone else happy, it's always better than just do something like salah, because at the end of the day you make salah, you do it for yourself. But when you are doing something for other people, it's better. What about the last 10 days, as you say, last 10 days of Ramadan? What we should do? Many people, the people who have like an affordability to go, for example, Umrah, they do. And the Umrah in the month of Ramadan is very, very good. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet sallallahu is always praising people who have like more money, and they have like they can afford to go to Umrah, to do this Umrah in these great days. Why? Because you are going there for the place of like, you feel there is spiritual feeling there in this, like especially these days you feel Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is closer and closer, and you can always pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you feel like he's near. The most important thing also to do in this last 10 days, and especially Laylatul Qadr, to make dua. Why dua is important? Dua is like the secret relationship between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you are doing the dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even in the Quran talk about what? Talk about وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي, when your slave ask you about me, so tell them I'm near. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. I'm near. Just what I need to do is just like start and making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever, in any minute, in any time, you just say Ya Allah and you start pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah always, He said this in the Quran, He is always will listen to your dua. Also very important thing to do dua in what time? In after Fajr time, or sorry, before Fajr time, the last third part of night, because in this time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descended to this dunya and said, Man yad'uni fa astajibu lah, Man yas'aluni fa'atiya, who want anything, who want me to answer him. And that's again, it's a free, like it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's Allah with all of His great names, Allah Al-Qadir, Allah Al-Raziq, all of this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to you and said, do you want anything from me? Because even in this lifetime now, we sometimes have lots of connection and we forgot the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We forgot that.
Dr. Osama, Yousef, are you now mentioning, as we talk, the key virtues and blessings associated with Laylatul Qadr? Are the
Yes, it's lots of virtues in this day, because
praying is I think, praying and dua for God on these very special days are the most important thing. Umrah is accountable, of course, but not everybody can afford Umrah.
Yes, right.
So let's make it easier for everyone that wants to understand this very important night that we await, the last 10 days of Ramadan. Umrah, of course, is very important. We can never deny that. But at the end of the day, Umrah is a sunnah. So let's start easier for people and then go harder where people can afford, because affording is very important today.
Yes, you are absolutely right. So again, as I said, so Umrah for the people who can afford. But what is everyone, or ordinary person can do? Like you can also in this great day, as they said, like in this great night, to make dua, right? But what else? You can always read the Quran, and this night also read more, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran this, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alf shahr. We talk about this, it's better than 1,000 month, and also this is in the month of Al-Quran. So you can recite, like let's say I want to take the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this great night. What should I do? I can recite, because now when I'm reciting the Quran, I'm talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's His words. And as we always said, if you love someone, you always want to keep contact with this person, right? You always want to hear his voice. You always want to maybe send him a voice messages or whatever. So if you love Allah, you also want Allah to hear you by his words. And is it better to make a worship by his words, by reading? Can I just read or also understand it and also go deep with the meaning? Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send us the Quran, it's not just send it to us to put it in a car or to like say, you know what, I have a Quran in my pocket. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send us this Quran also to contemplate it, to think about it, to see how even the Sahaba, the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was always like this. They yes memorize Al Quran, which is very important. Al-Azhar even we do lots of competitions for the people, for memorizers, for the people who memorize Al Quran, which is really important. But also beside this, you need also to understand it fully and try to understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means by this ayah or this verse. Why he talk about this? Why? What is that like? What is the asbab al-nuzul? What is the like the cause of revelation in this? So you go deeper and deeper with like the Quran. This also in this night, like night of decree or night of Laylatul Qadr, it's also very important. I think also.
Okay, I want to ask you a question, sir. Which is more important, or are they the same? To pray and dua and reading and reciting Quran, which is better?
Both. You should like we should do in this night. Again, we said it's a season, right? In a season, even if a person like work in any like in a season, they do everything. You do every kind of khair, any good action, you try and start doing it. You read the Quran, you pray, you even give sadaqah, charity, you like even like, for example, going visit your family if you don't visit them because you know, like unfortunately, we are sometimes so busy with our daily life and sometimes we forgot to like call the family members or no, it's great in this time to have to keep contact with your family members and also start like even if you have like does not talk to other people for a long time, it's a time, it's a time because again we don't know, we might be next year you will not be in this world, like who knows, nothing guaranteed in this earth. So and also I think it's very important to imagine or to understand something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are lucky. All of us are lucky that alhamdulillah we are witness this great month of Ramadan, and inshallah will inshallah witness the day of late or the night of Al-Qadr. So I think we must take advantage of this as much as we can in all of the good gates and all of the good ways.
Inshallah, sir, how should we observe Laylatul Qadr?
Yeah, the Prophet ﷺ was saying is like he observe it in the last 10 days of Ramadan in the old like nights. So in the old nights you are like it's better to do the whole like 10 nights if you like you know like does not have lots of work and also it's better for people like to schedule, you know. I'm always wondering in life, in a worldly life, we are always planning, especially for the people IT or like you know people working in big companies and stuff. They are always planning for dunya, but sometimes we forgot to plan for the hereafter. We forgot to plan for the Jannah also, because Jannah is not like an easy to get Jannah. It's easy and not easy. If it's easy, if you planned toward Jannah and you say, okay, this month and this last 10 days of Ramadan, I will do my best to observe the Laylatul Qadr. And I will do my best to like, you know, to be awake at night. And I will do my best to go to the masjid. Like I will maybe cancel my maybe appointment in this 10 days, just 10 days or even 5 days. If we talk about just the old like nights. So again, for those also, as you said, for those who can afford to do it, it's better, it's great because it's like 85 years. So you can imagine that you are worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for one night is like 85 years of your life. So it's a great opportunities.
Okay, sir, what is the wisdom behind observing Laylatul Qadr and exerting great effort during it?
Yeah, the wisdom all the time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He loves His people, so it's always want to give them a gift. It's like a gift. You know, again, we talk about life. So if I love a person, I always wanted to give this person with something, maybe this little or big, yeah? But I love gift. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do the same for us. He gifted us with the month of Ramadan. He gifted us with like Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree. He told you like, okay, you are my worshipper, yeah? Come in this night and I will give you your gift, which is forgiveness, which is like I will make your life more easy. And if you have, for example, like a dua you want it for a years, because all of us has needs. All of us has something in our heart and our mind that you wanted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to answer. Okay, here it is. Like here is your night. So you can like woke up at night and say, Ya Allah, okay, I need this for years. Can you please give it to me now? So it's a gift for all the people, for all His worshippers, because Allah always loves us. And Allah always give us a mercy so much, and you can see His mercy always in these great days. And in night of decree is more for sure.
When, sir, is Laylatul Qadr or the night of decree?
Yeah, as we said, like in the last 10 days of Ramadan, the ulama was talking about the odd. So like the odd nights, which is like the five, as I say, the last 10 days, and the odd nights, which is like people every, but it's not specifically, we cannot say it's a 27 or even 23 or 25. We don't know exactly, but we are searching for it in the last 10 days of Ramadan as a whole.
Okay, sir, what are the most important signs that indicate Laylatul Qadr, that we can feel Laylatul Qadr and think that today is Laylatul Qadr? Or, in other words, there are other people that say, some people say, and everyone has his own Laylatul Qadr. It's not related to all of us together.
Yeah, but like the ulama have, like as I said, different opinion here. Is it like, as I say, 27th? Some of them are 27. Some of them are saying in other. But again, you will feel it as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can imagine the angel descend from the heaven to this dunya. So some of them, even the scholar was talking about the you feel it after the day passed. So you feel it with the sun. It's not like very shiny and some of other things. But okay, this is all after. So what should I do? I need also to, as I said,
During
because I want to take the most advantage of this night. Because again, it's a big season. You wanted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive. And as I said to you, like, if you really think about like 10 days out of the whole year, we're always busy. We're always busy doing something and stuff. And I don't think that it's 10 days or even 5 days is much to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these 5 days and say, okay, you know what? I will devote it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in my ibadah. I will do my best. I will truly from my heart do my best to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these great nights. Then I'm sure inshallah Allah will give me everything and will give me His mercy and also will give me everything I needed for a years inshallah.
Dr. Osama Yousef, a researcher at Al-Azhar University, we thank you very, very much for your informative knowledge. Thank you very much for giving us more knowledge about Laylatul Qadr, a night that we really all Muslims all around the world await, and we hope that God really gives us all we want in this special night and that we witness this night together. Thank you very much for being with us in today's episode of Nile Cruise.
It's my pleasure.
Dear viewers, stay tuned. We'll be back again. Don't go away. We're still at Al-Azhar in a very holy month of Ramadan.
Strands of decorative lights twinkle like stars in the skyline. Exquisite handcrafted lanterns sway over every doorway. Colored canvases drape over endless rows of tables and chairs throughout the city. A festive atmosphere pulses